want this stress. You know that I need your attention. I'm smiling with my back turned. You think I'm gratified, but I put in the work now. Easier said than done. You're gonna be the one to get me out my deep dark places. I look around you and flowers are all a chasing. Is that a sign from heaven? No, do you know I feel?
All right, save that shit, save that shit. That's what's up. All right, we're gonna get started. Cool. Do you want to hang over there or over here for now? Is that cool?
Girl, he only fucked you over 'cause you let him. Fuck him, girl, 'cause he didn't know any better. You and I didn't know any better. Do everything that's enjoying, no effort. No, better. English flip and get high. I out of skirt. Right. A pen is gripping, the other is gripping your thigh. I love that song, bro. It's such an old song, but it's such a fire song.
Dude, Coby, we're in it.
Hello.
What's up, dude?
Yes.
How are you?
I'm great. How you doing?
Good. Can I call you Coby?
Yeah, you can say Coby or Kaub.
Is that dead naming you?
Nah. I get called Coby every day, so it's like either one. I respond to both of them.
So you your artist name is Kaub, Kaub, correct?
Yeah, correct.
Yeah, I like it. So for those of you who have watched all of our episodes, you might notice something a little different here. Coby is a portable vibe. He brought the party lights. Not only that, but what you heard when we got started was our man RJ on the guitar, and you're gonna bless us in a little bit with the
yes, sir.
original, right? Cool.
Yeah, original unreleased.
Yeah. Oh, really?
Yeah.
We're gonna debut it right here.
Yeah, I guess so.
That's fucking sick. Well, I appreciate you sitting down with me today, man.
Appreciate you for having me.
Yeah, absolutely, and thanks for your patience. I had a fucking debacle with the flat screen TV. Did I tell you what happened?
Nah.
So, the TV over here had a black bar on the side. So I'm like, oh, okay, here's what we could do. We could get rid of that TV, take the TV from the top of the bar, put it there, which is bigger, right? Upgrade. And then put a 70-inch over the bar, which you guys can't see right now. So I go to Rent-A-Center, shout out Rent-A-Center, and I get a used TV. It's for $500. I pay $10 that day, and I leave with a 70-inch TV, and then I got to pay $50 every 2 weeks. And I get same as cash in 6 months. Fantastic, right? I bring it here, put the back on it, hang it up. It's cracked screen. Fucking
What?
yeah, like something hit it, but nothing hit it. I have no idea what happened.
Damn.
So that was Saturday. They were already closed. Today I took it back, and now we got a LG 70-inch, swapped it out. So when you got here, I was fucking standing up, fucking hanging up the TV. So I apologize for the delay.
No problem at all. No problem at all.
All right. Well, we're fucking live from Hakuna with the one and only Kaub. Appreciate this, man. Usually I like to start off with a very simple, who are you and what do you do?
My name is Kaub. That's Kaub. And I'm an artist. I'm a singer. I'm a songwriter. I'm a vocal engineer. Yeah. That about covers it.
Yeah? Do you
And I'm a kava tender.
Okay, yeah. Kava tender, right?
Yeah.
Where do you kava tend right now?
I kava tend at the Chill Room.
Chill Room.
Yeah.
Shout out Chill Room, man.
Chill Room.
I got a lot of respect for the Chill Room. One of the biggest things I love about the Chill Room is the opportunity it creates for musicians.
Yeah, for real.
The music scene at the Chill Room is hands down second to none, right? Basically, the whole crew that I met, you guys like, that's like what's the word? A cauldron. The Chill Room is like a cauldron for your guys' creativity. And I just have so much respect for Mr. and Mrs. C, right?
Yeah.
And what the opportunities they create for artists. So definitely shout out Chill Room.
Yeah.
They got a badass like head shop in the back where they got a window where you can watch people blow glass.
Yeah.
Super dope spot, great products. Lots of love for the Chill Room.
Yeah. Appreciate that.
No, it's true, man. You know, one of the big things that's important to us, Danielle and I were customers before we ever owned a kava bar, right? So when we knew we were going to be opening a kava bar in a market that was already fairly saturated, it was really important to us that we came in with a mentality of collaboration over competition, right? And I've talked about this a lot on the podcast because, you know, I like to say a rising tide lifts all boats. And I don't think we're in competition with each other. I think we're in competition with alcohol bars. Like, we want more people to know the life-changing benefits of kava and kratom so that more people, so there's more consumers, you know? And we think the more bars there are, the more opportunity for people to learn about it. And, you know, potentially, this may sound corny, but change the world, dude. Alcohol is fucking terrible.
Yeah.
All of the worst things that ever happened to me were while I was drinking alcohol. You know, do you drink?
Nah, I don't drink. I drink like a little bit socially, but nah, I don't like drink regularly.
Are you old enough to drink?
Nah.
No shit. Damn, you such an old soul. I was just kind of busting your chops because you look young, but I would have been sure. I would think like mid-20s, just on the way you carry yourself. And
I appreciate that. Yeah, I try to just carry myself in a way where people don't look at me down, and I don't necessarily like it when people know my real age, because it seems like sometimes in this day and age, everybody looks down on you for being a teenager, or, you know, being however, oh, you're just young. Oh, you're just, you know, they don't look at it as like, oh, I have this much more time than you. Like, I'm where I'm at, like, while I'm young. So, like, I feel like I
understand what you're saying, man. It is kind of a fucked up thing that people think that young people, like, don't know anything, you know, or don't deserve any sort of credibility for their accomplishments because they're young. And I have the opposite feeling than that. It's like, dude, I like to fucking applaud people who have made accomplishments in their young age, or who are driven, or taking a different approach to things. You know what I mean? But I will tell you this. I just turned 36 years old. And from 19 to 35, I thought I knew everything. And now I realize I didn't know anything, you know? But then again, I wouldn't change any of that.
Yeah.
You know, you got to be who you are and put your best foot forward. So let's tell everybody how we met. We were open here, and it must have been, I feel like the first time was like the beginning of the late night vibes. You guys, I think, came in late night. You and Allegra.
Me and Allegra. It was the first time we ever hung out too. Like, and it was the first time I've been here, and it was the first time me and her hung out outside of, that was the first time we ever hung out. And it was just like sparks kind of flew and whatever. But then we came here at the end of our day, and then we just jammed out, and like the vibes were immaculate, and like the energy just raging through, you know, the environment, and us two, we were just singing and stuff, and it was like, it was crazy.
You guys brought the guitar. You came up and sat right behind me here, and like we heard y'all. At first, I'm like, "Is that the radio?" And then I realized it was y'all, and we just cut the music off, and y'all just serenaded us all night. It was fantastic. You guys' energy together is great, sonically, you know.
Yeah.
You know, shout out Allegra Miles
For real,
too, dude.
For real. She's doing big things.
She's fucking grinding, and she's very talented, as are yourself. We've been rooting for American Idol. Last night was kind of a bummer. But I know that it's going to create tons of opportunity for her. So Allegra,
she got so far too,
dude. Like, that's crazy.
As she should.
Absolutely,
you know?
Absolutely. I sent her a text. I'm like, recount. We don't agree. So yeah, shout out Allegra. We love you, dude. And I'm so glad that you guys both came here. And you brought and then after that, you show up with all of your incredibly talented friends, and we would do jam sessions till 5 a.m, RJ included. Let's talk about like the beginning of music for you. Are you a Florida native?
So basically I was raised here, but I wasn't born here. I was born in Indiana.
Okay.
Yeah. So I moved here when I was like 4.
Yeah.
So I'm pretty much a native, you know?
Yeah, 4 years old, man.
Yeah.
It's born and raised.
Yeah.
Well, raised. And then have you always been a musical dude?
Yeah. So, I started off at a young age. Just, you know, I can't even remember the first time that I really was like actually singing, because I was just making noise constantly around the house, just imitating whatever sounds I had heard on the radio or anything that, like, it was just melodies straight in my head. And all my family was musical, you know. All my siblings played an instrument, and my parents. My mom's a piano teacher. My dad leads the worship at the church. So, like, I started at a young age in the church and really, like, singing with him on the side and playing guitar for him and stuff, and just being, like, involved in it.
Yeah, what was like the big draw to you for music? Was it did it just create a feeling of peace, or was it like like a mystery? What do you remember your first feelings about music?
I would say that I just don't know any different, because my whole, like, it feels like my whole life, every day, it's just everything revolves around music. And like I didn't realize it, but like I looked back on it recently, like a year ago, and I really realized that I'd grown up and I had just assumed that everybody else was like me, that everybody else heard melodies in their head every day, and that everybody else was like always singing a tune to themselves. But like I realized that that's not how everybody is, and like I'm just like, I always have melodies in my head, and it's weird, but like it hits right at home for me.
It's like a gift and a curse,
yeah,
right?
Exactly.
It's like I can't get anything else done. Like I got shit I'm supposed to be doing this week, but I got to get this shit out. No, I understand it. Mine are less melodies. You know, I make rap music or made rap music.
Oh hell yeah! I forgot about that.
I was thinking about that earlier today. That I remember I was probably like 6 years old, and I went to my stepdad, and I'm like, I wrote a song. He's like, really? And I would like sing something about speeding up at yellow lights or something fucking weird. But ever since a young age, it was just like I just had this passion to create. So I totally understand that.
Yeah.
And then when did music like become serious for you?
It was like about a year ago or so. Not a year ago, about a year and a half ago, I would say. It was I was a senior in high school. It was like kind of the start of the year, kind of like going on to the second semester. No, not even. It was the start of the year, and I didn't know what I was going to do, because my parents had always encouraged me not to go to college, unlike a lot of parents, which I was grateful for. Because, and I lost my train of thought.
No, you were talking about where it was the beginning of the year in senior year.
Okay, yeah.
Your parents encouraged you not to go to college.
Yeah,
Shout out mom and dad.
Yeah, shout out mom and dad. They encouraged me not to go to college and maybe go to a trade school or something, find something other than college, which I was taken back by. I really wanted to go to college. I played lacrosse a lot, so like if I went to college, I would go to college for lacrosse and try to get a scholarship or something. But I really was leaning towards the Air Force, following my brother into like the military kind of thing. I was really into that. He was in the Marines, so he kind of like put that idea in my head, and I was all for it, and I started training, and I was training because I was going to be in the Special Forces, the Air Force. I was going to try to be in there. Let me correct myself, but yeah, I was training for about a month or 2 months, and then something happened, something like clicked. I think I was just making a song for fun, because I would often make songs, but it wouldn't be like me trying really hard or anything. It would just be for fun. And I think it just like hit different. And I was like, no, like I got to do this. Like, yeah. I feel like I have to do this. And then I auditioned for The Voice, and then that kind of solidified everything. Like after I kept getting callbacks and then eventually scheduled my date to go out there. Yeah. It was just like, I couldn't see myself doing anything else.
Yeah, that's dope. Knowing you as I know you now, I also couldn't see you doing anything else. I mean, you're covetending in any sort of social atmosphere, you're gonna kill it, but you're just so sonically gifted that this is your path, dude. What happened with The Voice? Are you okay with talking about The Voice, man?
100%.
Because I know some people who follow you might be interested a bit. What happened with The Voice?
So basically, I auditioned for the first time, and then kept getting callbacks, and it was all online, so like it was just from the comfort of my room, and which was in my it was good for me.
Yeah, in your favor.
Exactly, in my favor.
Yep.
So then I eventually got to go out there, and they I filmed a blind audition with them. So basically, like I was out there for like a month or so. Just it was a really great opportunity, just connecting with all these other artists, and it felt like I was in like Victorious, the show Victorious.
I don't know if I've seen it. Is it good?
It's really good with Ariana Grande in it.
Oh no shit.
It's an old Disney show. I forgot.
Okay.
Do you know the word? Do you know what's the school called? What's the school called? Hollywood Arts, yes.
Okay.
I felt I was in Hollywood Arts because everybody was just insanely talented, and I was like, what is going on? Like, I thought I came from a place where, like, not to be, like, egotistical, but I was, like, you know, significantly, like, I feel like I heard myself sonically just a little bit, like,
Above others.
yeah, above others maybe.
It's okay to
And-
think you're great. I'm going to pause you real quick.
Okay.
I have a theory on this. Everybody hates on Kanye, right? But nobody ever became great thinking that they weren't,
Damn.
right?
Yeah.
Like, everybody deserves to feel like they're fucking great. It's just important sometimes to, you know, remember that you always have room for improvement. But bro, don't hold yourself back from saying that you're fucking great, because you are fucking great and you deserve to say it. So I just want to throw that out
appreciate
there.
that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
So you're out here doing this audition. Everybody around you is talented. It feels like a dream almost.
Yeah.
Did you meet Ariana Grande?
Yeah, so I got to the blind audition, and they scheduled it, and so like we were all in the room and stuff. So I finally went out on stage after rehearsing my song, mind you, like one song for a month and a half of rehearsals.
Wow.
Just like, I mean, not rehearsals, but like they did rehearse with us, and like we had voice lessons and stuff like that, and it was like a lot. But I went on stage and I sang, and nobody turned around, which was unfortunate. But, you know, I just think I got the experience too early, and I wasn't ready for the I got the opportunity too early that I wasn't ready for, just quite.
Yeah.
And I'm grateful for it because it opened my eyes. And at first I was really like heartbroken from it, and I was like I didn't want to talk to anybody. Like when I got back, nobody even knew I got back because I didn't go out of my house for weeks. Like I didn't, not weeks, but like 1 week. I didn't go out of my house, and I just like didn't go to the chill room, didn't see anybody just because I was broken. It felt like, you know, my dreams were just crushed. But then I got some closure from it, and I looked at it in a different perspective to whereas like it got me so much hungrier. Like I was like, yo, I need this. Like I need it.
Yeah.
So I just started, you know, I hate to say it, but grinding.
Yeah. No, that's
And
all good.
just perfecting my craft really. And I feel like I'm going to go back soon, or at least try to go again soon.
To The Voice.
Yeah, to a show. I'm not going to say which one
Okay.
just yet, but just because I don't know for sure. Because I want to do an original, and The Voice, they don't let you do originals.
Yeah.
So
Well, that's one thing I really like that Allegra did, which
Yeah,
was really smart
uh-huh.
on her behalf, right? Because she's on national television, a
Yeah.
live performance. She's such an incredibly talented songwriter. And then, so no matter what, people know she can write music. So
Yeah.
that's huge, you know? Listen, sometimes in life, like you were talking about, you got the opportunity before you were ready for it. And that's a really powerful thing for you to recognize. They say success is when preparation and opportunity meet, right? And sometimes you get the opportunity, and even if you feel prepared, you may have not been emotionally, financially, whatever, prepared for what would have came along with it. It's like divine timing. You know what I'm saying? And also, there's times in life where the world will grab you by the ankles and pull you back down to earth, right? And those are the experiences that make us and create character and grit. You know what I mean? So what a huge accomplishment to get on the show, right? Because that's clearly validation of your talents. You know what I mean? But I couldn't imagine the stress and the pressure of performing in front of fucking Ariana Grande
Yeah.
and on this stage outside of your comfort zone. But that was all just like a growing experience for you, just like you said, man.
Yeah.
So you know, I get like the reclusiveness for a week to kind of like reset yourself, but it seems like you have a really strong support group of friends and musicians. They all believe in you.
Mhm,
We all know
yeah.
you're a fucking killer, dude.
Yeah.
You know?
Oh, back to the Ariana Grande thing. I
Yeah.
forgot to mention, but while I was on stage and stuff, they were talking with me and, you know, just giving me their feedback of the performance and trying to just coach me a little bit and explain why they didn't turn around, which I was extremely grateful for. And I actually just slipped in to I asked Ariana Grande for a number because she was saying something about like how she really liked my style and would love to hear a record from me. So then I was like, oh, I have a lot of unreleased on my phone. If you want to give me your number, I can send it to you. And she kind of got a little flustered, and she was like, oh, thanks, but no thanks. And like a little, it was cool to see like somebody get like get somebody like that flustered. Like,
Yeah,
that
like
is
she started
unheard of.
blushing
And she's
and
one of
shit.
my idols too. Like I look up to her with every eye that I have. I
She's
look up to her.
incredibly talented. Hey, bro, you shot your shot.
Yeah, exactly. You miss 100% of the shots that you don't take.
That's right. If you don't ask, the answer is always no. You know
And
what I'm saying?
she was only engaged at that point too, so she wasn't even married yet.
Oh man,
Yeah.
no shit. Well, soccer has goalies and people still score.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying, RJ? No, don't say I'm fucking married, man. That ain't cool. Well, man, I commend you for having the humility to talk about it in that way, and I understand it can be a blow at times, but bro, that's a raindrop to a river, homie. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's just one more step, one more notch, which, you're just going to keep grinding. So you talked about vocal engineering. Is that like you help people get their vocals to sound the best they can from this side of the board, or specifically your vocals?
Yeah, so like a vocal engineer is somebody in the studio that's the person at the computer, and he's the one recording, or he or she is the one recording the person, whatever they're doing, singing, playing an instrument. So that's what I do, but I don't do it for anybody else really other than myself. So like I just mainly do it for myself.
Yeah.
So it's like just putting the effects on and really just press and record.
Understood.
And kind of like doing that stuff.
What do you record in?
I record in FL Studios.
Really? Vocals
Yeah.
too?
Uh-huh.
No shit.
Yeah, so it's kind of a weird thing because FL Studios, a lot of times, like, people look at it as like a producing DAW.
Yeah.
But like, I learned on that, so it's more comfortable for me to just record straight into FL Studios. But
Yeah. Dude, FL Studio has come a long way. I remember when it was still called Fruity Loops.
yeah.
Right? And you would just put loops together and whatnot. And then it like switched over to FL. And now like some of the biggest records in the world are initially made in FL Studio.
Yeah.
I didn't realize that you could also do vocals in there. But I guess, yeah, you just track the vocal and then and you can add all your effects from there.
Yeah, exactly. I just like set up a beat, and then I used to do like a 1-over, like a melody pass, just to get the juices flowing, and then I just start recording. I kind of record like a rapper almost, like a punch in.
Yep.
I just like punch in, so I just like say a bar, and then I run it back, and then I'll do another one, and then I'll just like think of it in my head and then put it on there, because I feel like sometimes it takes too long to write down the lyrics, so my brain moves faster than that, and I need to like keep up with it.
I totally understand that. Same way for me, dude. It was like the pen and the pad slowed me down.
Yeah.
Right? Because like you said, like your brain is firing so quickly. So the best thing you can do is just get it out. I joke sometimes. Like what I would do is just like you said, I would go in and record basically just a gibberish track of like me just getting out my cadence and
Exactly,
rhetoric,
yeah.
right? And then go back and be like, oh, I like that part. Let me figure out words for
Uh-huh.
it. But now it seems like the rappers, they just released the gibberish track.
Some of them, like the really mainstream ones.
Mumble rap. Like it's
Yeah.
actually called mumble rap.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm like,
Uh-huh.
damn, I would have saved a lot of time if I would have just released my gibberish tracks. And that's
we could have just left that shit. bro.
right, exactly. But some of the best people, that's how they create. Jay-Z,
Yeah.
Wayne, and I'm sure there's countless others. Where do you
Yeah.
draw from for inspiration? Do you write about your own life? Do you write a lot of third person?
So, inspiration musical wise, I pull a lot from Lucky Day. Like I'm all on his stuff, on his music. Lucky Day, Masego, Alex Isley, she's just insane. Another artist.
Alex Isley, as in the Isley brothers? Is it the
uh-huh.
daughter?
The daughter of Ernie.
Sick.
Actually, yeah. So
Sick.
she's just ridiculous. She takes soul to the next level, really. But yeah, and then inspiration otherwise.
Like content. Like where do you draw for content?
So I used to just like write kind of like a story about like a girl. Like when I first got into songwriting, I would just like put a face on it, and I would just write about something that actually happened to me. But over so many songs, you run out of content. So
Yeah.
like nowadays, I'll make up a scenario, and I'll kind of, what if this happened? Then
Yes.
I'll write to it. And it's like at that point, it gives me all the freedom, because I'm not bound to one story. I have infinite possibilities that the song could end up.
Yeah, I was trying to learn that as a songwriter, that because I wrote so much shit like I, right? And then you realize, wait a minute, if you write in third person,
Yeah.
she, he, they, or whatever, it like I didn't think about it that way, but that's what it is. It's the creative freedom to tell any story.
Exactly. Yeah.
You know?
That's the thing I need to work on too. Is keeping the point of view the same throughout the whole song. Because a lot of times I'll struggle with like saying I and then or saying like I said this and then or saying something about her.
Yeah.
And then you.
Yeah.
And then like talking to her as if it was like a you, but then it's like going back to her, so it doesn't even make sense. And I'm like, I realize it after, and I'm like,
After you release the track?
Yeah, after I release it, sometimes I'm
so
like, damn.
What I like to do is just like, I'll get it done and then listen to it 1,000 times. People are like, damn, you're really, your own biggest fan. Well, one, yeah. Two, like, no, I'm critiquing this shit. And I'm trying to see if a fucking and should have been an or, if a I should have been a we, shit like that. You know what I mean? But then again, you can't be a total perfectionist. Like, you'll never release anything.
Yeah.
Have you heard of this dude named Beeple? He's a visual artist.
I don't think so.
So he just sold last year the highest selling NFT ever, like $66 million. This guy makes visual arts for people to use at their concerts on the screens behind them, right? Like 3D art and shit. He does that, but he also has for the last 12 years done these things called one-a-days, right? So he makes this visual piece of art, and at midnight every night, no matter where he is in the process, he posts it. He holds himself to this standard of I'm gonna post it at midnight no matter what. Which when I learned about that, I'm like, well, that's fucking cool as hell. One, that's a lot of content to create, but two, as an artist, you're always a perfectionist, right? And sometimes you'll fucking beat a dead horse and whatnot, but if you're just like, nope, it's got to go out, and then you just make a new one the next day. I think there's something powerful there.
There definitely is, yeah.
And I think it would be really cool for a musician to do something like that, one-a-days, even if it's just like a hook. Have you heard of, is it called the Song House? Oh, let me look these guys up. Okay. So they do this thing where they use a random word generator, and then they have 30 minutes to write a hook. And I actually just I borrowed the hook, and I had my homeboy, shout out Mole, make me a beat with the hook. Song House. So those of you who are just listening and not watching, I'm looking up on my phone here if I can find this Song House. Yeah, it's called the Song House. Check them out on TikTok and whatnot. They do this random word generator, and they have 30 minutes to write a hook, and then they just put it out.
Damn.
Well, because I know
it out like, what do you mean? Like
they put out a TikTok video of them in like a performance space singing the hook they just wrote.
That's fire.
So it's very fire. And it's like, because I know you guys are into this. I see you guys do it all the time, these writing exercises where you come in, you freestyle in a circle and just like practice. So this is their writing. They're all songwriters. So they're not really artists. They're songwriters. And this is their exercise they do. But one of them just went crazy viral. Song House. What's it? Promises. I want you to hear this shit, bro.
But I'm excited. What's up, Pete?
All right, you know what? I have it here on my recorded videos on my phone.
Yeah.
It's called Honest. Go ahead. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, you're good. You're good. Something similar to that I do, like a songwriting exercise, is I'll often make, because I love trap music and I love rap music, but I don't necessarily I'm not a rapper, so like I'll often make trap music and get like a Travis Scott type beat or like a Don Toliver from YouTube, know that I'm not going to release it, and just I know that before writing it, so I can just have the freedom to do whatever I want, and then it's just like a way to just get whatever's out. And I really just focus on like the melodies of it and try to just that's what I focus on, not too much the lyrics, because it's just like it's just kind of mostly freestyle.
Yep.
But it's really cool doing that too, because it's like when you go into a song beforehand knowing that nobody's gonna hear it, is a different kind of energy that you bring.
Freedom, like you were saying.
Exactly. Yeah.
You should think about releasing that shit. Like I said, like on TikTok, just like do the exercise, write the hook, and be like, yo, this is a concept I came up with, and then fucking TikTok it. This other dude, he's a producer. He's like, here's an idea, do something with it. And he films himself like making like a little beat for 30 seconds, and he just puts it out there. All right, so this is called Honest. So the song House Honest. I'm going to show you the video and hold it up to the phone here.
Okay.
I tell you that I'm whole, but I'm still here. I tell you that I'm happy, but I'm grieving. Thought I was a fighter, thought I was a fighter. I'm starting a fire. But if I'm
Oh, that lyric goes hard.
honest,
Yeah, that's cool.
Fire,
That's so
right?
Cool, yeah.
And that's what they put out, like 30-second videos like that. So yeah, I stole that hook, and I had my homeboy make an instrumental, so I'm gonna write to it. I haven't written it in a long time. I think it's important to like constantly be honing your skills, you know? And then the opposite of what I was just saying is that, you know, sometimes advice that I would give this is like totally contradictory to what I was just saying, to like young artists is like, don't put out everything, right? Because your first 100 songs are going to be terrible.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
I totally agree.
And I had the benefit of not having like all of the social media, and I was in the early stages of my career. So none of that shit ever got hurt.
Yeah.
Thank God. You know what I mean? And it was like after I was like, you know, probably 1,000 songs in, like song 997 was great. And then, you know, so I guess, I don't know, it's probably challenging in this day and age with the ability to put out content, knowing when to release and when not to release.
Yeah, and self-assessment too, for sure.
Yeah. Do you have projects released, like albums, mixtapes?
Nah, I don't have any full-length projects or even like half-length projects released. I don't
Singles?
I have singles. Yeah, I got 2 singles on Spotify. I'm actually working on a project. It's gonna be an EP. Yeah, it's just I'm probably gonna release it ballpark 3 months.
Yeah.
I'm releasing a single coming up next month, actually.
Is that what we're gonna hear today?
Nah.
Good night, Mike.
What you're hearing
Later,
today is something I wrote a long time ago. Before I even went out to LA, I wrote this song. Actually, with the song on Apple Music and Spotify, a song called Big Plans, I wrote this song that I'm going to perform today, like in the same like 2-day period that I wrote that one.
Dope. We'll put all the links to that shit in the description below. You guys go check that
Appreciate
shit
that.
out, man. Yeah, absolutely. So do you hold yourself to like not releasing music? Are you waiting for that perfect song? Is it just a content thing? Like you're just waiting to have enough content to release?
Nah, cause like I have probably over 150 songs like already recorded on my phone, like already written and recorded and stuff. But it's more like I was waiting for like content, but I feel like I knew that I wasn't good enough. Like I knew that I didn't want to brand myself with something that I didn't want, you know?
Yeah.
And so like now I'm at a point where like I love all my music. Like I've overplayed my music for myself, so I don't even have I'm so diluted with my music that I can't even judge it anymore, because like the music that I have on my phone, because I've heard it so many times that it's like.
Is it hard to pick which ones to release?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
But yeah. So I'm gonna release soon though. I'm gonna start to like release more and more, but because I just realized that I really need to release, and I've been slacking so much on that.
Yeah.
Because like how do I expect to, anybody to know who I am, or anybody to even like my music if they can't hear it?
Yes.
And it's like every time I show somebody my music, it seems like they like it, whether or not they're lying or what. But like I never got bad feedback on a song that I've showed somebody.
Right.
And I feel like I just need my shit to be heard.
Yeah, and do you look to your homies for like guidance on
yeah.
like which records, you know, are good to go?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Shout out Rod. Yeah. Always. I'm always getting him in the car, or even Pete down there. Like I'll have him sit down and make him shut up, and then I'll just give him my lyrics.
Yeah, I think it's important that you need to tell your homies, don't fucking lie to me.
Yeah.
You know, even though sometimes it's hard to hear and you got to be willing to hear it, but you got to have friends who are like, bro, I love you. This ain't the one.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that's when you start hearing that, that's when you know you're getting like the best feedback you can get. Oh, look at this. This is Dolce's first appearance on the podcast.
Really?
Yes.
Oh, Dolce.
And she usually doesn't let guys pick her up. You guys are homies.
Yeah, I've known her for a long time.
Yeah.
now.
What's up, Dolce? Guys, this is Dolce here. This is one of our little Frenchies.
She's so cute.
You can find her at Hakuna Matata.
Oh, speaking of the Don't Lie to Me.
Yeah.
Shout out to my brother, because he's always kept it real with me. Like, he's the one that like made me realize I wasn't, you know, the best starting off. And because I was kind of like, I thought I was really, really good, and I was just like a beginner, and I was like showing him it, like saying how good I was. And he was like, yo, like, you know, this is all right, but you got a lot to work on. Like, you got a lot to work on. And I was like, it hurt. It hurt, but it needed to be, I needed to hear it, because, you know, then I like started looking at myself a different way. Am I good?
Right.
You know, and then I realized I wasn't.
Right.
So then that pushed me to just be good.
You can always count on your brother to fucking tell
Yeah,
you your shit
exactly.
sucks. My brother was actually the one who told me that. My brother's passed away now. He passed away in 2016.
Damn.
But 2 weeks before he passed, he had like, I guess you would call it accidental overdose, but it's not like he knew he was going to die or anything. But 2 weeks before he passed, he said to me, make sure that you're not surrounded by yes men. You need people who are going to keep it real with you.
Yeah.
And when he said it to me, I'm thinking to myself like, oh, no, I'm not surrounded by yes men. But then like retrospectively looking back, because everybody in your circle wants you to blow. So they're going to tell you like, yeah, it's dope, you know? But I only had 1 or 2 people who would tell me it was trash. You know, shout out Shelly. If you're watching, Shelly would be like, nah, that ain't it, bro. That ain't it. Or then she would tell me like, yeah, that's it. You know?
Yeah.
It's important to have
And it
that
makes
shit.
it so much more satisfying when they do say that's it. It's like when they weren't fucking with some shit, and then you show them something else, and then they're like, this one's it. Then you know,
Yes.
like, you're like, okay, bet, like,
Right.
we got this.
Right. Yeah, you gotta be willing to question yourself if people are constantly telling you how great you are. You're like, come on, somebody's got to be lying, because
Yeah.
I'm not perfect. You know what I mean? What would you consider your genre? Do you have like a genre, or is it not fair to pigeonhole yourself?
Yeah. I wouldn't say that I'm genre fluid quite yet, even though that's my goal. I wanna
Genre
be
fluid. Explain
completely
that to
genre
me.
fluid. Just, you can't label me as any genre. I want to be able to. I want to have so many genres used in my music that nobody even like. You don't really know what's going on. It's just a mixture of everything, really. But I would say right now I'm in this like alternative R&B. I pull a lot from jazz. Like, I love jazz so much, and it's like, I just love unpredictability. I would say, like, if that was a genre, then I would choose that every day, because things that are too predictable, like, I can't listen to it sonically. I mean, I can, like, pop music is fire, you know, but like the reason Ariana Grande, the reason Justin Bieber are super pop stars is because they brought every genre in. They brought, you know, Ariana Grande on her Positions album. My Hair, that is such a jazz song. That's literally like what are those chords? Like, I'm like, it's crazy. And like, it's all trap too. Like, it's a lot of trap in there. Same with Justin Bieber. He loves trap music. And so their ability to just bring that together and, you know, turn it into pop music is really cool. So like that ability of them, I really admire.
Yeah. You know, I think it's a challenge as an artist to not want to be bound into a box of genre, but then still put out cohesive music.
And relatable music too.
Yeah.
Because if your shit's too obscure, then nobody's going to listen to it.
Right.
And it's like, it could sound good to like musicians, but like you need it to sound good to the regular ear too.
Well, think about Kanye, man. Kanye put out like I don't know if it was Yeezus. He's always way ahead of his time, and he puts out music and people are like, oh, I want the old Kanye. But then 10 years later, everybody will be like, he was fucking paving the way for what music is now. You know what I mean? I used to be like, I'm a fan of all different types of music, so I would want to create like a pop song and a rap song and a reggae song. But then because I come from a day and age where it's like you put out mixtapes or like albums, and it was like it would always sound like all over the place, you know? And the funny thing about calling music pop is that pop is just what's popular. You know what I mean?
Damn. I didn't ever really realize that, to be honest.
Pop stands for popular.
Yeah.
So sometimes we try to write a pop song, but it's like, dude, you know, Kaub can be pop just because people like it, you know? And I think it can always be redefined based on who's putting out what, you know?
Yeah, that makes sense. Because Giveon, he was like 11th in the world on Spotify at one point, and his music is not pop like pop what I thought pop was,
right,
and whatsoever, and that makes total sense because his shit is just like R&B, like that was one of the first artists that I really got into, and that I really wanted to like I aspired to be like him for sure in the early
What's
stages.
his name?
Giveon.
I feel like I've heard a song. What's his popular song?
Probably like Heartbreak Anniversary, like I forget how it goes. I feel like this every time.
Oh yes.
On these days it feel like you and me.
Yes, so good. So good.
I actually wanted to do that song for The Voice. That was at the top of my list, but I didn't get it, unfortunately.
RJ, can you play that? That Giveon song.
I feel like this every time.
If you find it and play it through the
Yeah, I'll play it through the...
Dude, this is dope. I wish you guys could see RJ here. So we have RJ right here with a puppet.
Balloons are deflated. Can't stay look lifeless like me. I miss you on your side of the bed. Still got your things here.
I'll put you on the spot here, RJ. Not bad.
Don't wanna let you out my head. It's like the day that I met you. The day that's when I first. Like when you looked up
Yeah, hell yeah, that's it. All right.
You want to try it?
Yeah, sure. I'll play the first verse in the chorus. Run it.
I wonder if I can turn this camera.
Balloons are deflating. I guess they look lifeless like me. I'll miss you on your side out of bed. I still got your things here, and they stare at me like souvenirs. Don't wanna let you out my head. It's like the day that I met you, the day I thought forever and said that you love me, but that'll last forever. It's cold outside, like when you walked out my life. Why you walk out my life? 'Cause I feel like this every time. Oh, on these days it felt like you and me. Heartbreak anniversary. I feel like this every time. On these days it felt like you and me. Heartbreak anniversary. Do you ever think of me?
Yes. Well done, y'all. Thanks, RJ. That
Thank you,
was
thank
sick,
you.
man. Sorry you're off camera. We'll have you guys do the original song, and I'll have you take my seat in a second. Cool?
Yeah, I was a little high from my comfort zone, but I tried to make do with what we had.
No, you sounded great, man. That's fantastic, bro. Dude, I'm really excited to see kind of like what the trajectory of your career, man.
Me too.
I think you're a very talented young man.
Thank you.
And I think like you were talking about, timing is everything, right? And you just keep fucking the cliche word grinding and creating, and you're going to be golden, man. Sometimes I like to dive into weird shit on this podcast. So do you believe in aliens?
Yeah, 100%.
Here, hold on. Let me.
My bad.
No, you're good. You do?
1,000%.
What are your thoughts on aliens?
I think that the world, that not just the world, but the galaxy and all the other galaxies, everything's too big for us to be the only thing. And it's just, I feel like statistically, the odds are just in the aliens' favors, you know, like it might not be like, they might not be green, they might not be like anything but life form on different planets. Like there's a lot of like, I don't want to get into like conspiracies. Maybe
please dive in. Look at this fucking picture of my head right there with I got vaccine syringes and fucking the anonymous mask and surveillance cameras. Dive into conspiracy theories, bro.
Yeah, but like the pyramids, bro, that just blows my mind.
There's a pyramid right there too.
Yeah, how they're all like
yes,
equal and shit. It's just crazy, and how it equals the speed of light. And I think
wait, what?
Yeah, like the whatever, I don't know like the exact statistics of it, but something about like the pyramids, the width or something, something about it is equal to the speed of light.
I'm looking this up right now.
Exactly, to like the 100% or like the 100th decimal place or whatever. But I also think that like I feel like the human race like not evolved, but like we got really smart really fast. And so I think maybe like, this is also drawing. This is drawing, and this is just an idea. But like aliens could have came down and gave us something that we needed, or that helped us escalate to a different level.
Yes. I think I could not agree with you more. I think the pyramids all over the earth are like, we don't know how that shit was built, and it's very clear that we had technology far beyond what we think they had at that time that no longer exists. And there are theories that aliens helped build the pyramids. Not only that, but there are theories that aliens at some point in time came to this planet and manipulated the DNA of like lower hominids, like monkeys, right? And put their DNA in them, and that we could have alien DNA and could be an alien experiment.
Damn.
And when
that's crazy.
When we started detonating nuclear bombs, that's when they started showing up. There's like hundreds of documented times where unidentified objects have stopped over highly protected UFO sites, or nuclear sites, and shut down all the nukes. And it's like military documented shit. And like they don't want us to blow us off the face of the earth because like we're them. And if we kill ourselves, maybe they're us from the future. Have you heard about all of these sightings over like recent military craft and shit?
Not really, to be honest.
Yeah, there's this dude, Commander David Fravor, who's a fucking Air Force pilot, Navy pilot. Like, this dude is legit. He's not like some crackpot, right? And he chased this. Sorry, dude. This is live. This is why we're live, like, because that shit.
Yeah.
He chased this thing he called a Tic Tac, and when he got up on it, it was like 1 foot above the water. Basically, what it looked like, communicating with a larger craft that was right under the surface of the water, right? And then just like this, it was gone, and it reappeared 80,000 feet above sea level on radar within a second. And then it came back down, and he like they looked at each other, and then all of a sudden it was gone again. And the next point it appeared was at what they call his cat point, which is like his classified. It was the next place he was planned to go to. So that whatever was piloting that also knew where they were heading next. you know?
Damn.
And that's all documented by the fucking military.
I'm trying to wrap my head around that.
I know it's a little crazy, and sometimes I dive in deep, but I have a theory that aliens don't just visit this planet, that they've been here for a long time. They live under the ocean, and they're worried that we are going to destroy their planet.
Damn. So you're saying that this might not even be our planet?
Correct.
It could be some like a different entire species planet.
Correct.
That's definitely an interesting theory.
It's
for sure
weird to think about, and if you're religious at all, it's like totally like blasphemous, you know, and I don't mean to be that way.
Yeah,
I just think there's so many like unanswered
so
things.
many. And the ocean is just, you know, you don't even know what's at the bottom of the ocean.
No.
Like there's so much of it that hasn't been discovered and hasn't even.
Have you seen what octopus can do?
I mean,
change colors, change shapes, fucking, they can like all of a sudden they're like super smooth, and then they point out all these little tentacles and then like turn into a shape and a color to look just like a fucking piece of coral, like
Damn.
that. To me, that's a
crazy.
fucking alien.
yeah, for sure. I think octopuses, they're not even octopi.
Octopi.
They're not even like I think that's like the species that nobody knows where it came from. I'm
That's
pretty sure.
exactly right.
Right? Like scientifically, like nobody knows. Like they're not a mammal. They're not like any. They're categoryless.
So what they call it is a cephalopod, and cephalopod literally means foot head. It means their feet come directly out of their heads. There's another type of fish that's a cuttlefish is also a cephalopod. Anyway, I just watched this weird documentary about octopus. Yeah, it gets warm up here. Sorry about that, bud.
Totally
You got this
fine.
fan on you, right? Cool. So yeah, man, who fucking knows? They say we know more about outer space than we do about underneath our oceans. So, you know, there could be fucking aliens living under the ocean. They could be listening to us right now.
Yeah.
If aliens were listening, what would you tell them?
I would tell them to. Let me think.
Don't think too hard. First thing that comes to your mind, say it.
Teach me how to.
Dougie?
How to do it. Nah, teach me how to build a spaceship.
Yes.
And go, like, you know, the best way of travel that's not going to take me light years. And, you know, I just want to go to a different planet.
Yeah. Fucking make friends with Elon Musk, dude. He's got big plans. You see he's buying Twitter for
By Cobb.
say-
Shout out my song on Apple Music and Spotify.
Oh yeah, tell the aliens to
Big
buy.
plans.
Yeah, that's the
Yeah, that's the name of it.
that's dope. Big plans. Did you see Elon Musk is buying Twitter?
What?
He's buying Twitter.
Damn.
Guess how much he's buying it for?
How much?
Guess.
I'm gonna guess 700 million, anywhere from that to 1.5 billion.
Okay, 700 million to 1.5 billion. Elon Musk is buying Twitter for $44 billion.
A lot of people don't like him, but like, I don't mind him. You know, like a lot of people just hate on him, but he does like a lot for humankind itself and even for the environment, bro. Like Tesla is so good for the environment, like electric running cars, and you see a Tesla almost every day.
Yeah.
How much impact did that have on the carbon footprint, you know?
Yeah.
How much impact did that have on oil itself and just reusable and stuff like that?
There's a couple different ways to look at that, right?
Yeah.
So one, I think the biggest impact is showing that it's possible, that you can have electric vehicles that can work as a reliable source of transportation. But people who are like against it say that like, what do we do with the batteries once the car dies?
Yeah.
Right? There's no way to like dispose of those batteries. And then not only that, the electricity that you use to charge the car, like a lot of times that's generated by fossil fuels. So there is a weird challenge here, right? And he's trying to come up with answers. And I think you're exactly right that he is doing good things for this world. He's better than people like, you know, these Klaus Schwab. Have you heard of this guy who's the World Economic Forum? This Klaus Schwab, he dresses like a fucking supervillain, and he believes that all of us are like, it's going to be, he wrote this book called The Great Reset. And he thinks that's what's happening right now, and that he might have even instrumented it. So what I'm getting at is like, thank God there's people like Elon Musk who are incredibly wealthy and seem like they want like the betterment of humanity, because there's other people like Bill Gates who thinks there should be less people on the planet, and he's gonna like vaccinate us to create less people.
Jeez.
You're really regretting sitting down on this podcast now.
Nah. Hey.
I just think that there's a lot of weird shit that goes on in the world.
Yeah.
And, you know, I think that obviously you're a very talented musician, but people who are into you might want to know a little bit more about what you think about fucking existence and
I
shit.
feel that. Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Exactly.
So
I respect the conversation.
no,
for sure.
thanks, man. I think it's important to have, you know, conversation about weird shit, because why not? Life's too short,
Exactly.
you know? So Elon is going to be buying Twitter because his hopes are to create more free speech on the internet, because Twitter has a way of like silencing certain sides of the conversation and whatnot. So I'm kind of
Like when they
interested.
banned Trump.
Yeah. So I'm not like a Trump guy.
Yeah, neither am I.
But I'm not an anti-Trump guy.
exactly.
I'm an anti like shadow governments running the world.
Yeah.
You know? And these very wealthy people, like leaders of industry, basically shape our reality for us to be like consumers.
Yeah.
Consume. You know what I mean? And it's
Exactly.
like, so I think Trump was going to shake that up a bit, and that's why they fucking didn't like him.
Yeah.
You know? I think he was crass, and he wasn't very like,
Yeah,
wasn't
it wasn't sonically pleasing.
Right.
And, you know, he said a bunch of shit that just could have been left unsaid.
yes.
But you look across the world, and it seems like every country respected him. Like, everybody knew he was worldwide known. So the only people that like America was the only country that didn't respect him. You know what I'm saying? And that's
Right.
why I'm not saying that's why they're doing anything like now that he's off, but
well, who knows?
who knows?
Right? I think I heard this statistic that the 2 times that Biden has invaded Ukraine was when Putin has invaded Ukraine is when Biden was in a high position of power. You know, when he was vice president, and then now that he's president, you know, I think
Damn.
people had a little bit of fear of Trump because maybe he was just crazy enough to press the button.
Exactly, and if he said whatever he wanted on live television, then who knows what he would do when he's pressed? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, exactly. I think that the world is a country is missing a healthy amount of American arrogance, right? There's like this problem now that if you're American, like it's like shameful to be American because of our checkered, to say the least, past, right? We came from we're in a country that was, you know, fucking ruthlessly built on the backs of black people in this country, and it's disgraceful. But we are also a country that's like an experiment in self-governance that, like, you know, we've done pretty well. Like, you're pursuing your dream of making music. My wife and I are pursuing a dream of being entrepreneurs. You can't do that.
Succeeding.
Oh,
mind
thank you,
you.
man. We're doing our best, you know. We're glad that we have the community here with us, but you can't do this type of shit anywhere else in the world. This conversation, we could be fucking jailed for it.
Yeah.
You know, it's like,
North Korea.
dude, it's not even North Korea. China, there's tons of places where you cannot say bad things, or not even bad things. Say that you disagree,
Yeah.
you know?
Can't even have an opinion.
Correct. And it's like, I think sometimes we forget that it's still good to be a fucking American.
Yeah.
There's obviously lots of issues that we need to fix, right? But I think we need to do it together instead of like these fucking crazy divide. we're
Yeah,
at
exactly.
Right now.
That's the thing I hate the most, is just the divide that all of this is causing. It's like, I don't really care. Like, to be honest, I could care less who's in. Personally, I don't really care who's in the president's position, because I can't do anything about it, whoever it is. And there's, you know, it's Congress and it's all the other behind the scenes that are really doing the heavy loading. The president's just the face of it all.
Correct. Did you? I don't know if you know this, but I've already had on, sitting in your seat, 2 gentlemen running for U.S. Senate, somebody
damn.
running for U.S. Congress. I have multiple other people running for office coming to sit down and talk with me, because I realized that I have no idea who's running for office. And just like you said, the people who are really making the decisions are these elections that all of us just ignore. you know? And if I could educate myself and in turn educate our viewers and our listeners on people who are running that we could vote for to create some change, you know, it could be fucking good. So so I agree with you. Like the president, it doesn't matter. Like it's pretty clear right now with Biden, like that poor guy is like, he's not all there.
Yeah.
And that's not his fault. He's had like 2 brain surgeries and
Dementia or something.
yeah, I think he's facing dementia. You know, if he was your grandfather and you were like going to visit, you'd be like, all right, well, you know, like, you know, Grandpa Joe is kind of losing it a bit, you know, and but we just got to understand, but he's the guy running the country.
And he said some out of pocket shit. Like everyone says Trump's racist, but like everybody just slept on the fact that Biden literally said, I quote,
if you ain't voting for Biden, you ain't black.
I don't.
Did you hear him say that? He said that to Charlemagne.
What?
Yeah, he said it to Charlemagne, and Charlemagne fucking shut his ass down.
Damn.
Yeah, that's my dude, man. He's fucking great. Yeah, he said that to Charlemagne. Do you remember what you were going to say, what he said?
I'm trying to look it up because I don't want to butcher it.
No, it's cool. Well, you look that up. I looked up what you were talking about the pyramids. I accept the cookies, sure. The exact coordinates of the Great Pyramid of Giza are 29.9792458, which by itself means very little. However, some enthusiasts have noticed the number is exactly the same of the speed of light.
Yeah.
The coordinates of the Great Pyramid of Giza are the same as the speed of light, which travels at 2,299,792,458 meters per second. Dude, that's fucking wild. I had no idea.
That's crazy.
So what did Biden say?
Okay, so I quote, Biden said, poor kids are just as bright and just as talented as white kids.
That's racist.
Yeah, 100%. That is so racist.
Right.
And like, everybody, like, Trump says a lot of, shit that he shouldn't say. Sus shit.
Yeah.
But I don't think he ever says, like, I mean, then again, I haven't done any research, and I'm just speaking off the top of my head, my opinion.
That's okay.
I don't think he said anything, like, directly, like, racist like that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I think that, there's a couple things that could be said about what Biden said there. Some people say that he, like, misspoke, but it's like, how did you misspoke and you said that poor people are black people? You know? It's like
you misspoke and you just let everybody know what you think about poor people. You know what I'm saying? It's like, oops, I let everybody into my brain.
Right.
And it's like, that's not okay.
Right.
Like,
and not only that, it's like, it's not correct because like Appalachia, there are portions of this country that have very poor white people, right? Like there's a big issue with like poverty in this country and there's poor white people, there's poor black people. The problem is that we don't fucking do anything about it. There's cities in this country that are like fucking war zones, and nothing gets done about it. Yet we want to go spread love, peace, and democracy all around the world when kids in Baltimore are being born into a fucking war zone, or in the south side of Chicago or whatever.
Yeah.
I get a little riled up about it. And I didn't used to know anything about it until like when COVID hit, I got all freaked out. I didn't know what was happening, so I like dove into all this information I could find about like the state of our country. And it's fucking scary. The people who pull the strings don't really give a fuck about us.
Yeah.
Anyway, I think I made it a little too heavy, but thank you for teaching me about the fucking Pyramid of Giza's coordinates being the exact same of the speed of light. That is
trippy.
Yeah, there's no way that's an accident.
Yeah, like how is that a coincidence? You know what I'm saying? But whatever.
So who would even know that those were the coordinates, right? They didn't have like coordinates like that. Not only that, who would know?
They couldn't even measure the coordinates back then.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? They didn't even know themselves.
Or know what the speed of light was.
Yeah.
Somebody did. And it's also weird how these pyramids are all over the world. Right? Same technology and shit to build all these pyramids.
Exactly. And how are you can't, there's no email, there's no phone calls. You can't there's no way of knowing how this one looks. And then you go across the world and there's the same style. You could tell it was, a very similar build, might not build by the same people, but the same exact style.
Yeah.
And how you gonna, the corroboration doesn't add up in that sense.
Yeah, it's very true. Although I'm not very, very knowledgeable on like historical geography, but at one point in time there was like Pangea, where it was like one massive continent. But I don't think there was people then, or we were building pyramids,
Yeah.
But that makes me think about this study that they did with mice, where they did a test with like mice in California, and they taught these mice how to get through a particular maze, right? And then there were other mice on the East Coast of the United States who were shown the same maze and were able to solve it immediately after they showed the mice on the West Coast how to get through it. So like there's some sort of fucking crazy collective consciousness that's fucking weird.
That's crazy.
That's
crazy. I didn't know that.
Lots of weird shit in this planet with like connectivity, I've been learning a lot about mushrooms. Do you are you into mushrooms? Psychedelic or non-psychedelic?
Yeah, maybe a little bit.
So trees use mushrooms to communicate with each other through the dirt. Like if there's a sick tree, all the other trees around it will use like fungus and shit and microbiology to send nutrients to another tree.
Damn.
Weird shit in this
Weird
world,
shit.
man. All right, I'll stop
That's
fucking
cool,
boring you
though.
with my weird fucking facts. You want to do your original?
Yeah.
Yeah? What's
Yeah.
this song called?
This song's called Some Type of Way.
Some Type of Way. RJ, I'm going to have you come.
Typa.
Some type of way. RJ, I'm going to have you come right where I'm sitting. Guys, I'm going to step out for a second. You guys enjoy.
RJ in the building.
All right.
Girl, I can't read you express emotional distress. You know that I need your attention. I'm smiling with my back turned. You think I'm gratified, but I put in the work. Nah, easier said than done. You're gonna be the one to get me out my deep dark places. I look around you and flowers are all adjacent. Is that a sign from heaven, or do you know I feel some type of way about you? And all these memories I trying to escape without you. Girl, you know I can't begin to explain the reasons. The force of gravity is pulling me towards you. Said out of my head, yeah, I'm out of my mind. Trying to reach you, but you're hitting decline. All these messages make me wanna recline. Am I insane? Cause I'm out of my league. Your intoxication floating on me. Soak it all up, then I'm hitting repeat. Girl, you know I need you. Sparks flying, let me have a redo. I will not delete you, but I can see through your insecurities. Cause babe, you know it's me to fly with me. Join us in the air. I will love you until my dying day, till my dying breath, till my dying state. I will care for you, even if you don't feel the same. I will take a rest, then call it a day. Girl, you know I feel some type of way about you. And all these memories are trying to escape without you. Girl, you know I can't begin to explain the reasons. The force of gravity is pulling me towards you.
My name is Kaub. This Rod on the guitar, RJ, Rod lead, Joachim. Amazing, amazing. That song will be out hopefully soon. Then again, I don't know, but I got a lot more songs on the way. Better ones than that even. So stay tuned. My name is Kaub, Kaub. Thanks for listening, guys. Shout out live from Hakuna for having me on the great show. And for being a stand-up kava bar, you know. Your guys' kratom is up there on the tier level.
Thank you.
Very up there.
That song was incredible.
Thank you.
That was great. RJ, you're so fucking talented too,
Yeah,
man.
for real.
So that was a first, dude. Well done. And I think it's
Thank
a great way to wrap up this conversation.
Great way.
I appreciate you very much. I believe in what you're doing. Keep grinding. Any way that we can support what you're doing, we're here for you. We're starting an open mic. It's called First Friday's
What?
Open Mic.
Hell yes.
The first Friday in May will be the first one. Please, we would love to have you guys.
100% I'm here.
Cool. It's from 8 to 10 p.m. And if we could count you in, we would love that. Cool.
Do you have a date?
Yeah, it's the first Friday in May. So whenever,
First of
I think
May.
that's the 9th
Okay, bet.
potentially. Or maybe, I don't know if that would even make sense. Yeah, it could make sense.
Yeah, if I'm not working, I'm definitely here.
Okay, from 8 to 10 p.m., all right? Guys, if you like what you heard and you want to hear more, or even if you didn't and you want to go tell them how much you didn't like it.
Yeah. Come hate me.
Yes, please. But nobody's going to do that. But I'm just saying, go follow Kaub on social media.
Appreciate
What is
that.
your social media?
It's Kaub with 3 B's.
On Instagram?
On Instagram, that's my social media. On all platforms, Spotify, Apple Music, SoundCloud, it's just Kaub.
That's excellent. You're a very talented young man. Let's resume this conversation in a couple months, and
100%.
we can keep talking about aliens and weird shit too.
Bet.
Cool. Respect,
Appreciate
brother.
it.
Thank you guys so much for being a fly on the wall during this conversation. We appreciate you. Like, comment, subscribe, do all the things, click all the buttons. But most importantly, we'll see you next time, live from Hakuna. We gone.